Okay, there we go. I got a little concerned there with the video, but this is Dishwan Pal, and hello, and welcome to yet another playthrough of another RPG. This time it is a game that nobody likes. Okay, I shouldn't say that, but a lot of people do voice their opinion about this game, and a majority of them don't really like this game. I remember getting this back in the day for the PS2. Playing it, and I really liked how it looked. I tried playing it. I picked one of the main characters that interests me the most, which so happened to be considered the hardest in the game to play. So that was fun. Knowing that your favorite out of the main characters, the one that you like the most is actually the hardest mode. I don't even think I said the name of the game, actually. This is Unlimited Saga, part of the Saga series. A lot of ums. I apologize about that. But Unlimited Saga, with the Unlimited Saga, well, okay. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I know the lore of the Saga games and how they each connect. I won't even pretend to do that. I just believe that Unlimited Saga is its separate entity. Hence why I am going to play this the way it is, instead of, release order, or even if there is chronological order. Like I said, I have not did any research of the backstory, so the lore of the Saga games. Just know that at this time, I don't really plan on doing much of the Saga games. Unlimited Saga is one of those cases, as well as some of the earlier ones, but more on that later down the road. This introduction here shows all the characters you can pick, because in the Saga games you can pick your characters, and each one has their special abilities and whatnot, what makes them unique and how their story plays out. Now, this is my favorite character, Armek. He's my favorite out of the bunch. Now, to truly beat this game, you have to play through each character and beat their mode. This is an RPG, and I will go ahead and say it right now. This is probably going to be my longest playthrough on this channel. Oh, and also it came with a Final Fantasy X-2 preview, which is probably why this game sold as many copies as it did. Alright, so these are our main characters. Now, we are going to go with Laura first. She's considered the main of the bunch, and she's considered the most... Oh, okay, thank you, Laura. She's an ex-pirate. It goes back to her backstory here a little bit. Laura is the most... I'm trying to put this in the best way possible. Okay, Laura's quest is more of the more traditional RPG. This is the closest you're going to get to a traditional RPG as possible, is through Laura's mode.
The funeral of her husband, Pablo, has just ended. But it was a funeral without a body. Her beloved
a lot of the voice acting in this game is actually really nice, I gotta say.
Only his glasses were left behind. The cracked lenses gave little clue as to Pablo's fate.
They were immediately thrust into a battle. Now, a lot of people do like the music of this game. Kind of runs similar with Mystic Quest, but everything else people don't really like. Now, for the longest time, I had no idea how to play this game. It wasn't until about, I want to say about a year or two ago, when I really started to sit down and try playing this game. And I will go ahead and say right now, to this date, I have not beaten all 7 characters. But I've beaten the game once with one of the characters. But I know that was with Armek. But we're gonna just stick with Laura first. Now, after Laura's playthrough, I'm gonna pick the other characters at random. So it's gonna be randomly who will be next. But yeah, the gameplay of this game is what really drives people away from this game. And like I said, it took me a while to learn the ropes of this game. You gotta think of this video game as more like a traditional... Well, maybe not traditional, but you gotta think of this game as more like a board game, like D&D and stuff like that. And then once you're in that mindset, I think you really enjoy this game a lot more. There is a guy named Biggy, I believe his name is. He did a playthrough of this game, and he did some tutorial videos on Unlimited Saga, which are very, very helpful. I will link a description in this video. I will put a link to his tutorial playlist in the description. I'm making sense, aren't I? Anyway, there'll be a link to his tutorials in this description of this part. And anybody who's interested in playing this, I do highly recommend checking out those tutorials. Because if you go into this, I will not lie, if you go into this head on without, you're gonna be lost. Like, the average person is gonna be lost when playing this game for the first time. But going into the mindset of playing like a D&D game, and actually, I would actually like to see this game put into a D&D board kind of game. I think this would be a really fun thing to try to make it into a tabletop game. That's what I'm trying to say, tabletop. Now, equipment-wise, we're gonna go more into detail about that later. Equipment has durability, so they can break after a time. So you gotta be cautious with that. The only exception is the Prince's Dagger here. His weapon does not break whatsoever, so take advantage of that. Right. So we're going to the roads, part 1, and we are going to begin our quest.
Pablo.
Good cutscene. Now I like Laura. Laura's oh my gosh, I think Laura is just like Lightning from 13 actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. Nah, I think Laura's much more than Lightning.
Step back, little man.
I shall join you.
So here's the thing with Unlimited Saga. You have HP and you have LP. HP is health points, LP is life points. Now, you can actually have 0 HP and be fine, but when you have 0 LP, you're KO'd. You can't do anything. I don't even think you can revive. Yeah, you can't even revive if you have 0 LP. Now, each character has a set of LP. The red number means LP points that's been taken off. Also, like my other RPG playthroughs, we're gonna show every new formation, but every formation that we already faced before, we will we'll cut it. I feel like the music of those games, it's very nice music. There's just so much to explain with this game. It's just, and you know, of all people, I'm probably not the best to explain anything, truth be told. Now, we are going to enter into a lot of battles, because, in a way, this is kind of like Final Fantasy II, if you think about it. Which, actually, now I think about it, I think all the Saga games are similar to Final Fantasy II. I haven't played this in, well, we knew it as Final Fantasy Legends, and also, there was a remake that was made for PS2 with one of the games as well. And there was another PS... I played a couple of them. But, this game, in particular, shares a lot of traits with Final Fantasy II, where the more you do of a certain thing, the better you have a chance of getting an upgrade to that particular ability. Now, for Laura, we're going to want to focus on her punch, kicks, and throws Because, there's particular builds you want to aim for each particular character. Laura has the benefit of going in a couple of different directions and be pretty decent. You can try to make her a hard hitter, you can try making her like a magic slash warrior, like a magic knight kind of combo, or you can even try just focusing pure mage if you want. For this particular playthrough, we're gonna focus with Laura as a. We're gonna try to build her up as a hard hitter, but she's not gonna be. She's like one step below hard hitter, basically, compared to other hard hitters in the game. But we're gonna build her up as such as if she is a hard hitter. As you can see, it's just like a tabletop game. But yeah, we're gonna try, for this first couple of parts, we're gonna try to, just take it, at a leisurely pace. Any battles I run into, I'll fight them, because, the more you do, the more, tablets you can get. I think that's what they're called, tablets. By the, at the end of the quest. We'll see it when we get there. Frankfurt, though, I think it's really nice. Now, if you're going for a magic build, you're going to want to do magic as much as possible to try to build up your magic stuff to have a chance of getting more powerful magic tablets. We'll go more into that when we find an actual magic user for our party. Now, treasure chest. It's much more than just going to try to open it up. Some of them are locked, defused, they can be trapped. So it's locked. You see how we had a poison trap? But we already activated the trap, so we don't have to worry about trying to defuse. Because it's locked, we have to try to use our locksmith skill. Now, it is very possible to have no characters that possesses none of these abilities, so you won't be able to open anything, unfortunately. But we got some money there. Some currency, KR. Nope, and here's the boss of for part 1. Now these guys are after the prince, but why? Basically, the prince's kingdom was burned to the ground, and the prince is basically the only one surviving. As you can see, Laura's poisoned. Basically, for the beginning of Laura's part, it's gonna follow a very basic. Well, what am I trying to say? Laura's beginning part of the quest is going to be... Shoot, I had it. I'm very terrible at commentary, aren't I? We're going to see a pattern with Laura's first few parts of the game. Basically, you do these parts, you run into a boss, which is just like these guys. It's just one of these mooks with a bunch of random monsters around them. I guess you see, Laura learned a dagger skill, which is indicated by the blue. So if you hit the blue, you use that particular skill. Now you can build up combos doing this right here. And depending where on the wheels lands is what you do. Now, the better ranked tablet you have in that weapon, the more the ability will appear on the wheel. Like, for example, you saw where there was 2 blues for Laura's dagger. That means she's got a dagger tablet on her person. We'll get more into it when we see the screen for it. I think it'll be better to explain when we see it on screen. You're going to want to try to do combos as much as possible, because that's the best way you can take life points out. More so when you have weapons that look like they pierce, or blunt. basically you want to use your higher hitting skills at the end of the combos. You can wait around and heal your HP. Now, all story quests, you don't have a turn limit, to my knowledge. It's just all the side quests for that particular character will have turn limits, so you gotta keep that in mind. Now, I debated about how to handle this playthrough with all the characters. Like, if I should cut out quests that we've already seen, just with different characters. In the end, though, which is a reason why this playthrough is going to be really long as well, I'm just going to show off everything. So who knows when this playthrough is going to end. It's probably going to be years, truth be told. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is a long game if you're going through all the characters, especially with me showing off everything. Now, what's interesting here are the monster species. There's a particular type for each species, like this one, for example, is bird. Now, the more bird species you kill, the insect species will thrive. So you'll face weaker birds because you're killing birds. However, the insect species monsters will get stronger because you're killing so many birds. It's interesting dynamic. And this goes through all the different species of monsters, like beasts, insects, plants, all kinds of stuff like that. Demons. I like how the transitions for battles is different. Not each time, but there's different things you can get for transitions, which is really nice and interesting. Oh, I should also point out that if your main character's LP drops to 0 and you still have other party members, you will get a game over. This game does have the Persona, or the Shin Megami Tensei thing going on, where if the party leader dies, that's it. It's game over. I'm really thankful that Persona 4 changed that. Right? Pretty sure Persona 4 changed it. No. But since we're not penalized, since you can just wait and don't have to worry about turns in the main stories, just do that. Just, if you feel uncomfortable with progression, just wait around until your HP heals up. As you can probably see, though, whenever something happens, if the green circle means good, X means bad. There was something else too, wasn't there? It's good, bad, and nothing happens. Neutral, basically. As you can see, we're gonna try to build up Laura's kick. What I usually do is I try to do a slow-moving move first. This is more apparent in boss battles. I'm going to try to do slow-moving moves first, so that way the enemy will waste their turn, and then I have a guarantee be able to do a combo with the other 4 actions. Because there is a good possibility that an enemy can interrupt your combo, and if that happens, well, they do a lot of damage to you as well. Possibly taking off quite a bit of LP off you. Now, if you take a look at that quick moment, you notice that the wording was red when I went to the other area. That means there's a high monster count, or the monsters there are a little bit above your rank at the moment. Luckily, because this is the beginning of the game, we don't really have to worry about that. But there's usually yellow, and then there's red. Yellow just means, oh, there's a monster there. And then red means, oh, there's either a really powerful monster there, or there's quite a number of monsters there, so watch out for it. Now, you can get skills throughout this game where you can, like, use diplomacy to try to shoo monsters away if they don't attack you right away. Magic skills that let you detect where monsters are on the map. Stuff like that. There's There's a reason why I say I think this game would make a really great tabletop game. Especially because there's so many different races in this game as well. It would fit right in. Just saying, Square Enix. Kick this goblin here. We get the life point out of him. So I think I do, going forward, I do have a planned structure for how I'm going to do this, and the reason why it'll probably be a lot of parts too is, basically, each story, or each side mission, whatnot, will be its own individual part, because sometimes these can take very long, sometimes they are very short. It just depends. Now, there is a certain set of enemies on each map, so if you want to wait around and let them come to you, you can kill them all off and be able to freely walk around. Now, when it comes to treasure chests, there is one particular trap you're going to want to try to aim for. I'm only defusing here because I can't really see what the traps are. Unfortunately, that was an explosion, so when you get an explosion trap, the treasure's destroyed inside as well. But the one particular trap you do want to have happen, and very beneficial, is the mimic trap. We'll go more into detail when it actually happens, because I know for sure it happens on one of these early parts. Also, the more successful traps you evade and whatnot also helps you with your character builds. And sometimes it's just random what you get. Alright, so this is the end of the quest, part 1 quest, and this is the... actually kind of one of the fun parts. This is the character builds. As you can see, you get 4 random things, or you could try to do some stuff to manipulate it to where... you can get some a little nice, like dagger art. Since the prince has been using the daggers, he'll get a higher possibility of getting a dagger panel. That's what I meant to say, panels, not tablets. Tablets is still part of the thing. Now, this is the confusing part. These icons represents an individual thing. Because we want lore for this playthrough, we want lore to be a physical build. We're going to aim for where that sword icon is. That's where we're going to put our physical stats. So we're going to put, as you can see, the strength increases to 22. We put that fist weapon, or a fist panel here. So we're going to want to do that. And now if you put like panels together, you'll get bonuses, which we're also going to aim for. Now, Biggys play tutorials goes into depth about how the best way you can build certain characters, and you can take that into account. I also used the Saga wiki to judge what particular character's strength they're best suited for. For the princess build, we're going for a skilled build. So what we're going to look for the princess key panels, which is also ways we can actually defuse traps, unlock treasure chests. So the prince will be very helpful in a number of ways. Very confusing, I know. I'm not really good at explaining these. But that's part 1 for that particular quest. And we gain access to a new town. Now you can always exit to the world map and go to previous visited towns to do what you need to do. Be sure to go to these information things here. Because 9 times out of 10, you'll get a new party member. And this is Judy. Judy is actually one of the selectable main characters you can get, and she's actually one of our first party members we get, not counting the prince. Now, Judy is a magic person. So we're going to go more into the depth with magics in the next part. Funny enough, Laura's playthrough is actually where you could get the most main party members in your party. Because there's Laura, you get Judy, and you also get Armet.
free. And now I gotta bring along a little girl, too?
Now Judy's main... Now, from what I'm understanding, all of the main character stories do intertwine with one another. Like, Judy's... We don't know much about Judy right this moment, but basically she's hunting for her family. There's part 2. Now, be sure everybody's equipped. Now, obviously with Judy, you do want to staff with her, so she can, use her magic. Now, we'll go more into depth about the magic in the next part. Because that's a whole nother explanation. Now, with shops, it's very important that you buy as much as possible. Like, the more items you buy after the next quest, the sellers will start selling better stuff. However, it's important early game to buy one particular type of item later on for smithing, because otherwise that item is going to be hard to find. Now, what is that item? I'm trying to remember. Shoot. What is that item? Was it cotton? No, it wasn't cotton. Was it ironstone? Let me see if it's listed here. I don't see it here. Well, shoot, I can't remember the material that you're supposed to be on the lookout for early game. Also, if you have a particular skill, you can go in and try to, do it to your advantage. Carrier skill, we can't do anything with this with none of the characters except one of the playable characters, so don't even worry about that in Laura's playthrough. This is a blacksmith. Now, certain blacksmiths can only do certain weapons, or certain items. Axe is what you're going to be going for a powerful build, so that's what we're going to try to get for Laura. And among other characters. I can't believe I forgot what the particular item you're want to try to keep on the lookout for. Copper. That's what it is. I think it's copper that you're going to want to try to buy. Maybe not.